it always comes down to loyalty from the one person who's the least loyal. Like, do you really want to be her friend after all of this? Because I don't. I don't. I'm being honest. I don't.
I think she has redeeming qualities. I think she has horrible, crazy, toxic qualities too, but I think there's a little bit of all of that in all of us. I'm willing to give her the latitude to say when it comes back and when it comes right, I will be her friend. I don't cut people off.
You know, does she defend you this heavily?
Wait.
Doesn't matter.
Ooh. Wow. There's so much to unpack with this episode. I feel like we were writing so many notes, so let's get right to it.
Just scribbling away.
Ooh, it was a lot. It was a lot to take in. It was a lot.
Would you be Jen's friend after that?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I kind of agree with Heather.
Alright, so you would give her a shot.
Yeah.
Okay. I would give her a shot also. But, you know, Lisa just saying fuck off is also awesome in its own way.
I know.
I'm just saying.
We love Lisa, so. Lisa's the Jill
I'm
Zarin.
done.
Lisa
I'm
is
done.
the Jill Zarin of Salt Lake City, in my opinion.
And this was the scary island of it.
Yeah, this was Scary Island, and Jen.
Yeah, Jen was Kelly Ben Simone. Yeah.
That's
exactly what
That's
this is.
Yeah.
Except she wasn't eating candy. She was wearing fucking designer shoes.
Looking like she's about to go on a fucking safari. Yeah. Looking like Jim Carrey and Batman. Do you remember? Wait, what was Jim Carrey's?
He was the Riddler.
The Riddler. That's right.
Yeah.
Jen was the Riddler.
Jen was the Riddler. Okay. All right.
Sucking the life force out of everybody. Okay.
So this is, I don't want to watch that. You might have found this on Instagram or Reddit or some stupid place where we throw little memes that we have the chance to make. And if you found us somehow in podcast land and you want to follow us there, you can follow us at I Don't Want to Watch. And that's...
no, it's at Don't Want to Watch.
Don't Want to Watch, that's
Not
right.
I Don't Want to Watch.
My bad.
That's the website.
Yes, that's right.
We
website.
changed it.
Yes.
That fucking guy.
Because we couldn't match the names. So on Twitter and Instagram it's both Don't Want to Watch. And the website is don'twantowatchthat.com. And we are talking Salt Lake City, episode 12, Sinners in the City. And the ladies are still in Vegas. And it's heated because nobody can just
it's a really
accept apologies and move on.
Trip. Yep. Yes. And by nobody you mean Jen.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah,
and
really, it's just one person, and that one person is a raving lunatic who is probably slightly bipolar.
That's what I think it is, or like bipolar or borderline personality disorder, something. Probably more bipolar because she, like, her family really keeps her grounded, and when she's not with them, she just
flies off the handle.
Yeah, she has no control.
And even if she's with them and she's had a couple cocktails.
Yeah. I don't know.
Also prone to happening. So basically we start this episode off with a couple pairs, and we got Whitney and Heather recapping, and also we've got Meredith and Lisa, they're also chatting up and stuff.
Yeah, so the girls are in Vegas, and at first I thought they said they were getting ready for the strip club, but we soon learned that they do not do that.
Well, maybe because the whole night fell apart.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, Whitney and Heather are rehashing the race car driving. Whitney's like, I had so much fun.
Yep.
I'm so glad that I got to do that with Meredith and Lisa alone. We were really able to like talk and like set things on the right track. And Heather was like, that's great, but...
That's the best part of this whole episode is how blindsided Whitney is. Because she has no idea that this is even brewing under the surface. She thought that, like, frogmouth apology in the bathtub on the mountainside was going to last. And it was just like, I'm sorry. Like, no, No,
and it's.
I'm sorry.
I think
Okay.
this is where I still kind of have a problem. I still understand, like, why Jen is as upset as she is.
Absolutely.
I understand where she's coming from, and I wish that she just would have, like, said, let's take things slow, or let's see how things go, as opposed to I accept your apology.
Yeah,
Because,
just keep it all out there. You can't.
Yeah.
And that's the second time she's done that this season.
Yeah.
And this time it's significantly worse.
Yeah.
And look, she explains also later on that that hit a level, and that's why it triggered her so hard, because it was something for her husband that she had never been able to do before, and blah blah blah. But you gotta explain that and get that shit out there, so it can be properly atoned for by the offending party.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Lisa and Meredith, they get to dinner early, and they are really happy, and they feel like they're in a really good place with Whitney, and like they feel wonderful, things are great. Put the trip on right back on the right track, and then
it's almost like a disaster movie.
Yeah,
where Whitney, Meredith, and Lisa are all unsuspecting college students, but there's also the same timeline of a scientist trying to convince people that shit's bad and nobody listens to them.
Yeah.
And Heather's that scientist. And
yeah.
Yeah, and somewhere down the line their paths intertwine, and that's the dinner.
Yeah. Jen shows up to the dinner, and she's like, oh, how did everything go? And the girls are like, we're so good with Whitney. She apologized. She owned up. She took accountability. She owned her shit, and they're good with her. Jen ain't having it.
Nope.
It totally sets Jen off. I think she was looking for them to talk shit, to be the mean girls that Jen really sets them.
She wants to be.
Wait, now, before I say this, before Jen sets them up to be, or Heather, because I've never felt like Meredith and Lisa are mean girlish, especially after this episode, how easily they accepted Whitney's apology and are just ready to move on and be fine with it.
Well, I do think they have mean girl qualities. We've discussed that before, and they definitely exist. But I was absolutely still, because I'm sure Lisa will still talk shit and be like, yo, Whitney's a swinger. Shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's a little mean girlish, but, they were definitely willing to bury the hatchet quickly. Yeah. And, for the good of the group and the show and the paycheck. And, And, just not having a super fucking awkward dinner. Which didn't happen at all.
And the way Jen was just going off, I was just like, oh, she's legitimately crazy. She does not have the ability to let things go. Things fester with her. And the more the girls try to explain, the more Jen barrels over them.
Oh, yeah.
And basically says, okay, yeah, it's fine. You guys made up with Whitney. She's a fucking liar. Blah, blah, blah. That's great. And Meredith ain't having it. She's like, I'm disengaging.
Yeah, she
pulls out the disengaging.
Yeah, she pulled
and
the
fucking
ripcord,
walks
disengaged.
away. Yeah, nobody tells me who I can be friends with.
Yeah. And we each gave Meredith a point for that.
Yeah.
And if you're unfamiliar with the point system, we just throw points at the ladies.
Well, and you know what? It's
and anybody in the episode.
It's such a power move, right? Rather than feeding into Jen's, feeding into her anger, misplaced anger, really. Well, yeah, misplaced anger towards them. Meredith also brings up that she just hates confrontations like that.
Yeah, she said
fighting.
she had
she's
a rough
triggered
upbringing.
by it. Yeah,
her parents would fight all the time, and she just doesn't like it.
Yeah.
So whenever she's in one of those situations, I'm disengaging.
I am disengaging. Goodbye.
I'm disengaging.
But yeah, she got a point for that because it is a power move. Because what can you do? The other person walked away.
Oh, absolutely. And you say it doesn't feed into Jen anymore. But, on the opposite, when you don't feed this fire, it fucking blows up, you know? And
Yes.
Lisa had to deal with that shit. So, like, 30 seconds after Meredith leaves, you know, Jen's fuming mad. Lisa's trying to calm her down. And then, oh, hey, it's Heather and Whitney.
Yeah, Heather and Whitney walk in, and it just, woo, Lord.
Oh, Jen is just losing her shit. And they are confused.
It enrages her even more.
Yeah.
And then at one point I was like, and then you see like Jen's bodyguard. I was like, Jen has a fucking bodyguard?
That's so ridiculous. Well, probably part of the fucking squad.
I was going to say it's probably one of her cousins.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But one of the notes that I wrote was like, Lisa's a good friend. She like walks with her, is trying to calm her down, trying to like figure out why are you so triggered by this.
Yep.
And she says, she's like, it's a lot. I am perplexed. What the fuck is going on? And Whitney and Heather just fucking throw Jen under the bus.
Yeah.
They toss her without even flinching.
Well, what else are you going to do with that?
No, I
point?
agree.
Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And,
I agree.
you know, you gave Lisa a point for following Jen and being a good friend, just to point that out. But yeah, Lisa comes back and they just fucking all jumping on the Jen bashing train.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, well, also, she was talking shit about Meredith's relationship.
Yeah, and talking shit about you. Just last night, Lisa.
Yeah.
Jen was, what did Jen say? Something about Lisa not liking Whitney or some shit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Lisa was like, let me stop you there. Anything I didn't say to your face?
I didn't say.
I didn't say. Yeah. Which I also love about Lisa.
She's the best.
Yeah, she really is. I'm sorry. So then...
But then they're like, hey, let's all go back to the room and call Meredith, and then we'll all bash Jen.
Yeah. So they all go back to Whitney's room. Jen, of course, is not there, and they're, like, rehashing. You know, they're trying to, like, put all the pieces together.
Yep.
And Meredith, finally spills on her marriage.
Yeah.
She puts it out there. They have been separated on and off for many
Multiple
years.
times.
During that time, they date other people.
And Lisa is devastated.
Yeah, she's so shocked.
She's like,
Poor
I can't
thing.
believe it. It's my best friend.
Yeah, she had
And I'm
no
finding
idea.
out with these other people.
Yeah, she had no idea.
With these nobodies. I can't believe it.
She had no idea, and it like made me kind of like there is a very innocent side to her that I like it. I like the driving slow.
Oh,
right? Like the driving slow, having this attachment to Meredith and like genuinely loving her and feeling hurt. Her feelings are hurt that her best friend couldn't be honest with her. I thought it was, I love Lisa.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love her.
We gotta find Vita Tequila now.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Let's see. And so then that's when they bring up what we talked about, what was the opening clip. They question being friends with her.
Yeah.
And, you know, as much as we respect Lisa, I think we're both more of a Heather on this situation.
Yeah. You know, I get it. Your friends... Here's the thing. I think Heather and Jen are closer. I think they've been friends longer. And Lisa and Jen are more new friends, from what I understand. I think they're more acquaintant, they're friends because of the show.
Yeah.
I think Heather and Jen were not.
But, is Heather, how are they all linked together then?
Contract?
No, I hear that. But, to sell the idea, don't they at least shouldn't,
some have to know each other, but some, Mare doesn't really know anybody. And
well, that's why she's only in the episode for 14 seconds and nobody cares about her. She's fucking from one of her 9 closet bedrooms in the house. Yeah, ridiculous.
Anyway. But yeah, your friends are fucked up. They have wonderful qualities, but they also have toxic qualities, and I guess Heather can see past some of Jen's crazy.
Yeah. On the good days it's good, and on the bad days it's bad.
At this moment in the episode.
Yes. I gave Heather a point for the loyalty and sticking around.
But sometimes loyalty isn't good.
No,
with
I
some
agree.
people.
I don't mean loyalty is a good quality to an extent.
Right.
But
if somebody's toxic to you, somebody's toxic to you,
you gotta break them off.
Yep.
Gotta break them off. So, and then that's pretty much like the end of the night. Because everybody's pretty much had enough.
Yeah. Then in the morning, we're cutting to all the different rooms, and they land in, they're in Heather's room, and basically we find out that Jen left. Told Heather to get her shit because Jen was leaving.
Yep. So that means Jen just took off pretty much, hopped on a flight, left all this shit.
Yeah.
It was like, it's almost like when you get evicted in the double eviction from Big Brother and you're the second person and you don't get a chance to pack your bags because you didn't even know there was an eviction night, or you would even be on the block.
Yeah. So then Lisa calls Mare.
For some fucking reason.
Yeah,
Who cares?
Mary's in her fucking closet drinking a smoothie.
Yeah, you had to squeeze her in the episode somehow.
Yeah, and Lisa's just like rehashes what happens. And was like,
and Mary's like, well, what do you expect?
Yeah, what do you expect? And Lisa's like, yeah, you should be so glad you're not here, whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
And that's literally it.
Yeah.
And she gets an opening credit.
Why is Mary always in her fucking closet? Like, why are we getting
Why is she on the episode?
Yeah, why can't we get more scenes in her fucking church?
Yeah. No, well, they don't want to show her progress to people.
Yeah, I guess. So now Heather goes to Jen's room, going to get her stuff.
So this is where they're going to see the hypnotist.
Yes.
And so Whitney, Lisa, and Meredith are hanging out downstairs waiting for Heather. And Heather's like, oh, I gotta fucking pack her shit. She knew she was getting evicted. So, I'll be a couple minutes late.
Yes.
All right, whatever.
I'll meet you there.
Now Whitney, Lisa, and Meredith, now the best of friends, all hop in a cab, and it's all happy-go-lucky on the way to the hypnotist.
Right. So Heather goes to Jen's room, and Jen is there. I wrote, what is going on with Jen? Her whole squad is there. She didn't go to the airport. It feels like a setup.
You know what it's almost like? It's almost like Jen is playing both Kelly and Jill in Scary Island. Because when she gets to the hypnotist, and the hypnotist is like, the energy is fucked up now.
Yeah. Hello. Oh my God.
She really has chutzpah, I gotta tell you.
So Jen's playing both Scary Island roles.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Heather's kind of shocked that Jen is there. Yeah. And is like, you can kind of see like the wheels turning like, fuck, all right, this is going to happen. We're going to have this conversation now.
Yeah, it's going to get wild.
And yeah, basically Heather tells Jen, everyone is freaking out over your behavior. What the fuck is your problem? What is going on? Why are you here? You said you were leaving.
Yeah.
She's like, well, my squad just told me to lay down.
Take a Xanax.
Calm down. Take a Xanax. But basically she says like her squad calmed her down, which is our Jen squad thing is like very. I don't. Yeah. It's bizarre. It's cultish. It almost feels like a cult.
She's got too many people around. She can't pay them all.
Yeah, she's lonely. That's what it is.
Like, does she pay them all though?
Maybe she gives them product. Who knows? I don't know.
What kind of product? Cocaine?
I don't know.
Got the product.
We shouldn't say cocaine. We should not say that.
Could be true. Who knows? Big if true.
So, once they start talking, I feel like Heather is really trying to give it to her straight. Like,
Yeah, she's trying to just be direct. Like.
Right. Your behavior was fucked up.
Yeah.
Own up to it. And Jen, like, just keeps, like, talking.
She just want to hear it.
Right. She keeps talking in circles. Like, it's not making sense.
And she still keeps saying that Whitney lied.
Yeah, which like...
is not the right situation. Like, Whitney said something that wasn't true, but it was because somebody told her that thing that wasn't true.
Right.
And nobody is taking Mary to task. Like, why didn't Lisa fucking, when she was on FaceTime with Mary, be like, yo, bitch, hey, here's an update on the thing. We're all fucking fighting because everybody said you said a thing that I said, but I didn't really say it, and now they're all fighting. So why the fuck...
But I think this is how these Salt Lake women operate. Because this is an ongoing thing. This is an ongoing thing with these women.
I mean, yeah.
When else did it took this long for Meredith to say, yo, you're fucking talking about my marriage?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess Jen's the only one who calls shit out, but Lisa, of all people, should at least be like, yo, what the fuck? Is she scared of Mary?
I don't know. Maybe they're scared of Mary. Who knows?
Maybe. You get lost in a closet. You'll just wake up and be one of the servants one day.
She does speak to God. But basically Jen's like, I need to know who's lying.
Yeah.
Heather's like...
It's Mary.
Yeah, it's Mary, yeah.
But nobody's pointing at her. That's the craziest thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Whitney, Lisa, and Meredith go to the hypnotist. This hypnotist looks so familiar. I looked her up. She's an actress. I thought she was a soap actress, but she wasn't in the soap that I thought she was in. Which was, Days of Our Lives. She wasn't on that soap.
Good story.
Okay, sorry. She just the woman. She just looks like so familiar.
I thought she was on Days of Our Lives, but she wasn't.
Was it? No, she just looks very familiar. She's just
you can imagine what it would be like if you did.
She's been in a lot of movies though. And by a lot, I mean 6 movies. Anyway, okay. So the women go to this...
That's a lot by my standards, which is 0.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So they go to this woman, Kelly, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And she starts to work on the 3 girls, giving them hypnosis techniques and meditations. Shit. Yeah. And then Heather shows up with Jen, and the energy totally shifts.
Yeah. And the hypnotist becomes almost like a fucking guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like group therapy.
Yeah,
at that point.
Well, it became a group therapy session, for sure.
And the hypnotist just rolls with it, too. Like, that's what I
was impressed.
Like, if she's a hypnotist, I assumed they would have been there to, like, get turned into chickens or some shit.
Yeah, but...
And start clucking, and all of a sudden, like,
yeah, but that's like party trick hypnotism. There's different levels to it, like... when I was in therapy as a kid, I mentioned.
But like that's an aggressive thing. Then, if they were going to,
it's a part of there are therapists that use hypnosis in therapy. It's a way to calm you and let you be more relaxed with your feelings.
I agree.
And comfortable.
But my point is that for a fun girls' Vegas trip, I don't think they're trying to hypnotize childhood trauma out of you at a therapy session. I would have imagined that this gathering would have been more of the...
If the energy's fucked up...
Well, I know, but like she shifted... she must be a dual-purpose hypnotist then, if she had both of those skill sets.
Well, she wrote a whole book about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna read the book now.
We
should do like a book club, a Real Housewives book club, and read some of the books
that get mentioned on there. Well, I think I've mentioned this once or twice on the podcast before, but you've roped me into this series that's about 16 books, so I'm booked for the next 2 years because I'm only in the middle of it right now.
All right, so let's get back to the hypnotist. So she says the energy is bad.
Yep.
Jen is obviously uncomfortable, and she's like, Jen is like, yes, the energy's bad because some shit happened last night. Why am I the one that's always in trouble? Why am I the one always to blame?
Yeah.
And Meredith just, like, lays it down. She comes in
she was the adult in the room right there, like, we're done with your shit, kid. And you gave her a point for that.
Yes, I gave her a point for that. She's like, well, because you're fucking telling me who I can and can't be friends with. So.
Yeah. Nobody tells me what to do.
Yeah.
This is fucking bullshit. Not you, not Seth, not anybody.
Yeah.
Only Brooks.
Only Brooks.
So, and then they get into, like, the details
Yeah.
of, like, all the beef. And I think that helped a little bit, like,
For Jen?
because, yeah, for her to see that it wasn't necessarily that, like, because I think up until this point, she thought Whitney just made that shit up herself, or whatever. And she was just so tunnel vision, and she's so full of rage.
You really
like,
think that? I think she was just pissed that she would bring up some, like, bullshit from Mare
yeah.
at her husband's party. I didn't get that,
But, like, why wouldn't she have just brushed it off then? Like, if it was bullshit and everybody just wrote it off as, like, kooky Mare being a fucking weirdo.
That's true.
Because nobody's taking Mare to task for this at all.
Well, I think, but it's also, again, if we're talking about Jen, her triggers are, which is so ridiculous, but, like, her triggers are loyalty, right? So, if Whitney is friends with Mare and she's bringing up this cuckoo crazy shit that Meredith and Lisa are scared of Jen, like, why would you even bring it up in the first place? I think is what she's.
No,
I
hear
think
you.
that's what her thing is. I don't know.
No, I get that. But still, you can communicate that in a non-blowing up dinner way.
Yeah. Well, we know that Jen doesn't have the
Maybe
capability
not.
to do
Maybe not.
that. So Jen is still upset, obviously, over why Whitney would say, you know, that Lisa and Meredith were scared of Jen, and Lisa's like, wait. I skipped over some notes. Sorry. Oh, what was the part I wrote? Jen says no one was clear with how they were feeling. Do you remember that part?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, and Lisa and Meredith are like, oh no, you're mistaken. We were trying to, like, make things clear to you.
And you just didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, and you didn't want to hear it. And then that's when Jen says, I still am really upset over why Whitney, would say Lisa and Meredith were scared of me. And Lisa says, is Whitney, or when Jen, that's when Jen says, well, is Whitney lying about this? And then that's when Lisa says, I never said that. And I never said Whitney was lying.
Yep.
And Jen is just barreling over everyone over this whole combo.
Yeah, it's brutal. Like, she just can't, I don't know, she can't take any criticism. She can't ever admit that she's wrong. She can't ever...
Keeps bringing up loyalty.
She can't...
Keeps bringing up loyalty, and then guess who?
Trumpish.
Guess who comes in again? Miss Meredith.
Yeah.
Miss Meredith comes in and says she finds it very contradictory that Jen is preaching loyalty while talking shit about Meredith's marriage.
And we each gave her points.
Yeah, she got some points for that. She's
Yes,
like,
indeed.
mind your business. It's fucking cruel.
Jen denies it.
Yeah,
then.
but she denies it in, like, a roundabout way. Like, she's like, like, you could see it in her face.
Oh, absolutely. You can see it in her face that she got right there.
She got.
Got.
And Heather and Whitney,
And even still, while Jen was stumbling over the denial, Whitney was just like,
lying.
You told me.
Yep, you're
liar,
lying. And so,
liar,
yeah,
liar.
Heather basically, and Whitney, they say she's lying. Heather's like, just fucking apologize. Just apologize.
Yeah.
Just do it. Done. That's all they want.
Jen starts apologizing.
Yep. So Jen does, but kind of does it.
It's like a weird, like,
it doesn't do it really in a great way.
I didn't mean to hurt you. I wouldn't have done that.
And the hypnotist immediately calls bullshit and is like, that's not how you apologize. It's not how you apologize. So then she's like, take all the bullshit out and just apologize. And then she's like, I want to put a pause on this conversation and play a game. Trust, not trust.
And this was hilarious because, like, they start with Lisa, right?
Yeah,
And
they go around the room.
Yeah, and so
saying who they trust and who they don't
nobody
trust.
raised their hands at all until they get to Jen.
Nobody trusts Jen.
Nobody trusts Jen. Nobody at all. And Jen is like just
She
like
feels
taken
heartbroken.
aback by that.
Is heartbroken. Feels ganged up on.
The next one was Heather, and Jen raised their hand,
Yeah.
and it was purely out of spite.
Oh yeah, it was a spite.
It was just
Spite,
like,
yeah.
if everybody raised my hand, it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
It could have been...
And Heather's tight over it, right? She says
yeah.
Jen says she doesn't trust her. Like, what? Heather's
always been there.
Yeah, she's always there to like calm her down or
Yep.
like be a good friend. And
Heather was in the mix, like trying to like save it for everybody with her.
yeah,
Like when Lisa was threatened
Yeah.
to not be her friend.
Heather's pissed. Heather's
Yeah,
pissed.
she should be.
She's pissed about Jen's behavior. She's pissed about
If there was one person who it shouldn't have been in that moment, it would have been Heather. And it
Yeah.
and it happened to be Heather.
Yeah. And then Lisa again steps in and is like tries to lay it out for her. Like, listen, we tried to talk to you last night. Your behavior was unacceptable. We don't know, and it again like it makes me like you can't behave that way without expecting people to react the way that they are going to, right? Like Jen's behavior was so cuckoo crazy and really atrocious, right?
Yeah,
like,
and then-
kind of
but-
gross.
And Jen's just like, well, that's me.
Yeah.
Like, that's terrible, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always going to act real big when it comes to my friends and family. What?
But settle down. Like,
Yeah.
they're your friends, too.
Yeah.
She's like somebody who would have one of those bumper stickers that says, like, if you can't take me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
My best, yeah. Yeah. It really is like high school stuff. Like, this is like...
It's so ridiculous with her. Like, to
Or
be
like
fair,
early
though,
20s.
it wouldn't really be that fun without her, though.
I know.
Because it would just be a couple of
And I still understand her feelings and why she feels the way that she does, but it's her behavior that is no bueno. No bueno. And Jen is in total shock. Like, she's in total shock with the way the girls are reacting, and it just, she really is in her own world. She's got her crew, right?
Yeah,
that kiss
a
her
little
ass.
squad.
Do her
Led
makeup,
by
bodyguard.
Stu Chains.
Yeah, like this cult. They
Stu
really
Chains.
is Salt Lake. Salt Lake City is just the land of like cults.
Yeah. I guess.
Cultish behavior,
Just
right?
all over the place. Midwest is weird.
Yeah. Well,
Just weird in general.
what do you expect?
I know.
I've never been there, so.
Nah, me neither. I have no idea.
We're
Just kidding. Salt of the earth, yeah.
we're totally judging the Midwest when neither of us have ever really been there.
Honestly, all I want to do is go to a carnival and get one of those, like, everything fried.
But we did that. We did that in Texas.
Yes, that is
We
true.
went to the Texas State Fair. That was
Yeah,
it was
but
awesome.
I feel like if you go to, like, one in, like, Wisconsin or some shit, you can get, like, these crazy cheeses and stuff. Like, really, really gross fried stuff.
If you live in the Midwest, please send us a message and tell us the craziest deep fried thing you have eaten. And
Yeah.
it is cheese. What kind of cheese?
And if you have a recipe.
If you have a recipe. Because we still are quarantining.
Yes. I had nothing better to do.
Yep.
But
that's all I wrote for that episode.
Yeah,
Any
that's
other
pretty
notes?
much it. That's where the episode ends. And as for the points for this episode, Meredith dominated. This was a great episode for Meredith.
Oh, yeah.
You know what also helped Meredith this episode? Brooks wasn't in it.
It's true. Though he was on the phone.
Yeah,
his
but only
dog
for a
shit.
second.
His dog shit
that's
on
right.
his coat.
And that was great, too. The one instance of Brooks, he was in turmoil. He was in distress, and the one time we saw him. So,
Yeah.
good. What was it? It was a very, like, high-class fucking thing that his dog shit.
Montclair.
Yeah,
His
whatever it was.
Montclair coat.
Montclair? Like next to where we live?
Yeah, but it's spelled differently.
Oh, okay.
I think the A and the I are switched.
Okay. Clear.
I think so. I don't know. I could be
Sure.
wrong.
I could be, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching or listening. Same thing. Not really.
Are we gonna lay out the points? What are the points? Who got what? Did we say that?
Oh,
already?
I said, Meredith dominated the episode. She had 5 points.
Who else?
What are
the other
Heather
points?
only had 1. Lisa had 1. Jen was too crazy to get any. You gave Jen -5.
I did.
That's right.
I did. I gave her negative
Just
5
her
points.
entire performance, yeah.
Yeah, because I was very disappointed in Jen. Though I still like Jen.
Oh, of course. You're like Heather.
I am
because
like Heather.
Yeah.
I am.
I am like Heather.
I am. I really am. I mean, a lot of my friendships in life, I'm very loyal to certain people, and they have
People
hurt.
that deserve it.
Yeah, people that deserve it, but also people that don't deserve it.
Yes, indeed. Those people should get text messages.
Let's move on.
There's nothing to move on to. All right.
See
Yo,
you
thanks for
next
making it
time.
this far to the point where we make inside jokes just for each other. And so the show, I Don't Want to Watch That, and don'twantowatchthat.com, and Don't Want to Watch on Twitter and Instagram at Don't Want to Watch. And Mike and Mare.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening. New York coming very soon.